Hello everybody. In this video, I'm going to go through what we're going to do today while I'm out. Today, we're going to go back and we're going to review evaluating expressions, taxes, tips, discounts, and simple interest. Just like last class, we're going to separate us into 3 groups and then we're going to rotate between the activities. You'll have about 20 minutes at each station, but maybe longer if you have more time. Let's go ahead and begin before we come back and talk about these activities. Let's review these topics. The first topic we're going to review together is evaluating expressions. So let's look here at this problem. For evaluating expressions, you're always going to see that you're going to have a problem like this, 3x squared plus 2y. And to solve this problem, we need to know what the letters equal, and they're going to tell us. Right here, they tell us x equals 3 and y equals negative 3. The first thing we always want to do is rewrite the problem, but we want to replace the letters or variables and put empty parentheses in their place. Once you've emptied the parentheses, we are going to substitute and put in the numbers. So x equaled 3, so in goes 3. Y equaled negative 3, so in goes negative 3. Now it is time to solve. Remember, we use our order of operations, GEMDOS. So let's go through and solve it. First, are there any groups? While there are parentheses, the numbers in the parentheses are by themselves. So that's not really a group. So there are no groups for us to solve here. Next, are there any exponents? Yes. Right here, we have 3 squared. So let's go ahead and do that. If you did 3 squared, that's 3 times 3, and that gives you 9. So now we have 3 times 9 plus 2 times negative 3. After exponent comes multiplication and division. So if I go left to right, I see 3 times 9, which is 27. And then I have plus 2 times negative 3. If I then do 2 times negative 3, I get negative 6, giving me 27 minus 6, which after solving that, 27 minus 6 gets you 21. Remember, you will always have access to your Desmos calculator to help you out when you solve these problems. All right, let's move on to our next problem. The next problems that we're going to talk about that you're going to work on today are discounts, taxes, and tips, right? Discounts, taxes, and tips are something that you always have to figure out and work with. But the main thing is when we solve these problems, please make sure you're checking. Do they want just the tax, tip, or discount? Or do they want you to calculate the total at the end? If they ask you just to find the discount, just to find the tax, just to find the tip, all you do is you turn the percentage into a decimal and you multiply. However, if they want a total, you have to do some extra math at the end. Taxes and tips make things more expensive. So if you're doing a tax or tip problem and they want the total, you need to add whatever the tax and tip is to the original price. If you're going to get a discount, discounts make things cheaper. You need to make sure you subtract in those scenarios. So let's look at some problems real quick. So it says, April is shopping for an anniversary present for her husband. She finds a new set of golf clubs that cost $300. She has a 15% off coupon. And here's the key part. It says, how much will she save using the coupon? That means they don't want the total. They are just looking for the discount. So we don't need to do any extra steps. All we're going to write down is the price, and we're going to multiply that by the percentage as the discount. 15% as a decimal is 0.15, so there we go. And now I just multiply 300 times 0.15, and you would have gotten 45. There would be a $45 discount. That's how much money she saved. Now, if they wanted the total, I would have subtracted it from 300, but they just wanted to know what the discount was, so we were finished there. Let's do another problem like that. All right, so this is a good one because this one is asking me for the total. Here it says Ryan bought a Blu-ray for $17. a pair of shoes for 30 and jeans for 25. The tax rate is 6%, and they want to know what the total cost is. So we're going to have to figure out the tax, and then we're going to have to go ahead and add that to the original price. To find the original price, though, we have to add up what they bought. He's going to buy a Blu-ray for $17. He's buying shoes for 30. He's buying jeans for 25. I'm going to go ahead and add that together. 17 plus 30 plus 25. And that gives me $72. So it's cost him $72 right now. Let's go add the tax. We'll do 72 times 6% as a decimal, 0.06. We'll multiply them. And it turns out that the tax is going to be $4.32. We are not finished because we had our original price of $72. Taxes make things more expensive, so we will add our $4.32. And at the very, very end, when Ryan pays his final price, he's going to end up paying $76.32 because we had to add that tax into it. Let's go ahead, and I want us to go, and we're going to look at our last topic that you're going to work on today, simple interest. Simple interest, remember, is a formula we use to find interest. If I let someone borrow money, not only do they have to pay me that money back, but I need to make money off that transaction. I make interest. This happens when you borrow money. This happens when you put your money in the bank. Now, you earn more interest based off a couple of factors. So there's a formula we use. The formula is I equals P times R times T, also known as I PERT. So what does that stand for? Well, that is our interest. We calculate the interest by taking the principal, the original amount, times the rate, which will be the percentage. We have to turn that to a decimal, times the time. Now, normally time should be in years. If they give you months, please make sure you make that a fraction, right? If they said 3 months, we would say 3 out of 12. If they said 7 months, you'd say 7 out of 12. However, most of the time, they're just going to say years, and all you have to do is write the number down. But let's go ahead and do this. If I went and looked at this problem, before I do anything, I always write down what I, P, R, and T equal. I'm going to be missing one of these letters, and I'm going to have to solve like an equation to find it. So it says, find the simple interest if you put $1,200. So that's my principal. That's the original amount in a bank account for 5.5 years. That's my rate. Let me turn it to a decimal, 0.055. Make sure you're dividing all your percents by 100. And then finally, the time, it says 2 years, so I don't have to worry about doing any weird fractions. I can just write down 2. So for this problem, I'm missing my I. That's going to be my variable. That is what we are looking for. So when I write out my formula, I'll have I equals, I'm going to punch out P. I'm going to punch out R. I'm going to take out T. And now I'm going to go fill them in. 1,200, 0.055, and then 2 years. All right, to find the I, let me multiply all these together. So 1,200 times 0.055 times 2. And my interest was $132. However, just like our discount tax and tip problems, you need to make sure you're reading. Do they want you to find the interest or do they want you to find the total? This problem actually asks for the total, meaning I am getting this $132 back. But I also have my original principal that was in my bank account, my $1,200. So we're going to add them together because I had my original amount, $1,200, and the interest is extra money we're making on top of it. So if we add them together, you get your final price of $1,332. So these are the type of problems you're going to be working with today. I'm going to go ahead right now and talk to you about the activities you're going to solve. So let's jump back to that first slide that I showed you. What activities? So you're going to be broken up into 3 groups, and your 3 groups are going to take turns doing stations. So one group will start at station 1, one group will start at station 2, one group will start at station 3, and then we'll rotate after 20 minutes. So first, let's talk about station 1, evaluating expressions, pixel mystery. For that one, if you go into our Schoology page, in our Schoology page, in the Review Day 2 folder, you will see our evaluating expressions activity. For our scavenger hunt, this is an activity that you would do in the hallway. You'll go in the hallway and you go from problem to problem, working your way through. You can start at any single problem. You don't have to start at one problem. You can start anywhere. And once you do all of the problems, it should take you in a complete circle and bring you back to where you started. So as an example, if you started off at letter T, after you've gone through and done everything, you should end up back at letter T. And then finally, our simple interest maze right here, that is also going to be in Schoology in our Review Day folder. If you finish any station early and you are waiting to get done, with that time, what I want you to do is go back while you finished early and go look at your Echelon strand quizzes and make sure they are all completed. We did 6 strands. You need to double check that they are all finished. These are summatives. If there is one that's not finished, please go back and complete it. Also, if there are any SOL strand quizzes that you would like to improve your score on, grab a sheet of paper and go fix the problems you got incorrect. Next class, you can turn them into me, and I will raise your score to an 80. The final thing, if you've done all your SOL quizzes and you're all caught up and you're ready to work on something new, feel free to go and work in Dreambox if there's any extra time. Thank you guys so much. If you need to reach out, please send me an email, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day, and I'll see you next class.